Hello friends, let me show you how you can set up fluid typography with Headspin Copilot plugin, which is for free by the way. And all you need is just one click, like almost, okay? Uh, I have created this page with all the levels for headings from H1 to H6. And also I've created is normal paragraph. Right now, all the sizes are static. So if I resize the browser like this, you'll see that it remains as it is, which is not like perfect for me because I need to set a different size for each viewport so it will be responsive. So to make it fluid, I'm going to add Copilot plugin. Okay, which is here. Let's go and activate it. Okay, and go to dashboard. And right now, here is your one click trick. Just click on the save, and like this, the plugin will create the CSS variables which will apply by default to all the heading levels and normal paragraph. So if I go back now to my page and refresh, you see that the font sizes have changed. And now if I scale down, you see that they will scale down too, which is very responsive. So like right now, we can end this video and say, okay, done, that's it. But I want to show you more how you can fine tune it because each project has a different size, page size, right? So here by default, we have a minimum and a maximum with some value here. The thing is, when you have a fluid typography, you need to have some minimum and some maximum. So you know from which viewport you need to scale down to which viewport. So let's say at the maximum viewport, we will apply a maximum value for, let's say, heading one, and it will scale down to some value to the minimum viewport. At that point, it will apply a minimum value. Okay, and as for me, I always leave this by default, because I think this is like pretty common. But as for maximum viewport, it differs with your design or project. So let's say if you have a design with a width of 1280, so I just need to change it to 1280. Now all the maximum values will end will be at this viewport. Okay, and I just need to hit the save. Then if I want to, for example, to have a different scale, like this, let's say I want to have bigger font size. Let's go to theme, to typography, click on this icon, and you see that you can set a scale for this. By default, we have 18 pixels font size for uh, for our normal paragraph, and that's at a maximum. And at the minimum, we have 16. So that means this text will scale from 18 to 16, from maximum viewport to a minimum viewport. And this value will multiply each time for a higher level, like 1.333. This is a scale. Okay, so and, that means it will scale uh, up to H0, which is a special font size if you need like very very large size. Um, so that means if I change the scale here to something bigger, like let's say golden ratio, and you see like right away that the values have changed. Also, if you can click on this to see the scale, how it has changed. Just hit the save and go back, and you see that our headings are now much much bigger. But you might wonder, why these why this H5 and H6 are not changing at all. It's because here you can set, from which level it will start the multiplying. Like by default, we have it from H4 because I think uh, many of us, like we are not using the H5 or H6 like that much. So that means the scale from H4, it makes more sense. But if you need the scale from H6, no problem, just select it here. But you see that now it's much bigger because it needs to start from H6 up to H0. So let's just hit a save for now. You see that it's crazy big. Okay, so maybe we just go back to our here to this normal ratio, like for me at least. And this is how you change the scale, and you can do the same for a minimum viewport. Like let's say you want it to scale like differently. Let's say like this, and you see that the size will change slightly. So like this, you can fine tune your font sizes. If you want a custom scale, you can use, here a function for custom scale. No problem. Um, let's go back to our default, which is like this. I want to show you something cool. Hit a save. Okay, now it's back to normal. Let's say I'm, if if you are too lazy, to just set a scale, you can just open this folder icon, and you see that we have some numbers here in like under the font size heading, which is basically the presets or for the sizes. This is by default number 4. Let's say I want a little bit bigger, something like a little bigger scale for my font size. I'm going to select this number which is higher than 4, so 5, save, and you see now that my headings are a little bit bigger. Oh, why is that? This, if you select some of these, they will apply a different scale based on what you have selected here. So basically, they will save you few clicks. So uh, if you want it smaller, just select a smaller number, hit save, go back, and you see that it's small. All right, and let's see. Yes, and the cool thing is now. Uh, if I go to my breakdance editor, you see that these are just all plain elements. I have added nothing to them. So this is like by default. Headspin do this like by default, and now it's up to you if you want to style them like directly. Let's say you have a H2 heading, and but you want it to be like bigger as a H1. Okay, let's go to typography, font size, and click on a right click. Okay, right click like this, it will open this panel, so you can choose heading size. Here we have H4 to H1 because we have select that the scale will start from H4. Okay, right? So let's say I want it to be as H1. You see that now it is as H1. Uh, or if I want it like bigger, like we have H0 for that, right? Or let's say you want something much bigger. No problem. You can use a count function, which you can write here as a count, and you can multiply this like 1.3. You see that it will be much bigger, and the cool thing is that it will scale down too. See? All right. So that's how you use it in the Breakdance Builder. And uh, Now it's up to you if you apply this like directly to the element, or you use the presets. Like, let's say you have some presets, like let's say with heading heading 1, right? You have font weight of, let's say, 600. You have some line height like this. You have letter spacing. You have, let's say, transform like this. And now just save it as a preset. Let's say custom custom heading. Save it, and now you can reuse this preset, which has a headspin value inside, and you can apply this preset to every element, text element. Like for this, let's say, okay, see. So it's up to you how you use it, or you can just use classes, like like this. Add a class, custom heading, and go to setting and apply the h1. See, so now this class has a font size with headspin value. Now every element which has this class will has a size you have applied here, and you can change it like whenever you want to something else, like you want it bigger, smaller, or much smaller. It's all up to you. So that's how you create fluid typography in Break.